In this Java tutorial, we will make a list application. There is a text field, 2 buttons, and a list object in the application. A car brand will be entered in the text field. When the Add button is clicked, a member will be added to the list. After the member in the list is selected, when the Remove button is clicked, the member will be removed. Let's do this application from beginning together. First, I add a frame form. I add the list to the form. I run the application. The list is used in this way. There are a few options added as ready. Let's set the properties of the list. I change the variable of the list. I will change the font of the members in the list. I add 2 buttons. Let's change the properties of the first button. I will use the first button to add a member to the list. I set the color of the button to green. I set the name of the button to add. I change the font. I change the variable of the button. Let's set the properties of the second button. I will use the second button to remove a member from the list. I change the variable of the button. I set the button color to red. I change the button font. I set the button name. I add a text field object. I will change the properties of the text field. I set the text property. I change the font property. I set the variable property of the text field. Let's run the application and see how it looks. Now I will define the actions that will occur when the Add and Remove buttons are clicked. But first I need to create a model. The list object uses a ready model. I create an object from the DefaultListModel class. I can do this with the new keyword. I set the model using the variable of the list. I added an empty model to the list. Now I will define the actions. I will click the Add button. I will code an action for this method. I will add a member to the model. I send the value entered in the text field to the method. Let's test it. The value I entered is added to the list. I will do a few tests. Now I will define an action for the Remove button. I click the Remove button. I will remove the value entered in the text field. I can do this using the getText method. Let's test the application. The remove and add buttons work successfully. I will change the remove method a little. After the member in the list is selected, I want the member to be deleted when the remove button is pressed. To do this, I need the index of the list member selected by the user. I save this to a variable with the getSelectedIndex method. I send the index number to the removeElementAdd method. Let's test the application. The remove and add buttons work successfully. I recommend you to watch other Java tutorials.